Are you someone who finds it difficult to make it through daily conversations? Many of my learners tell me, in the sessions that, ma'am, we find it difficult to get through, daily conversations. When someone initiates a dialogue with us, they ask us a question, we find we have so many thoughts going on in our mind, but find it difficult to articulate it in words. Well, if this sounds like you, then this lesson is definitely for you. Watch it till the end and learn how to master certain daily English conversational exercises. First, let's understand why is it difficult to do a daily routine conversation. First up, one of the main reasons is that English probably doesn't come naturally to us. It's not there in our environment, and we find it difficult to, muster the courage to string together sentences, make good structure of sentences, and say and respond naturally. So, the natural element being missing makes it difficult to have daily conversations. And that exactly is the focus of this lesson. How to sound organic or natural in your response, or for that matter, if you want to initiate a conversation, how to naturally do so without, it seeming like you are, you have a gun to your head. It has to seem like you organically speak or smooth, seamless, and also very easy for you to strike this conversation. Definitely such people are looked at as more confident, and people like to engage further with them, because otherwise it seems like, someone has asked you something and you just froze. You have nothing to say. And that itself, makes people judge you for your conversational skills. So let's understand certain simple questions and how to answer them effectively so that this becomes a part of your communication. First, let me explain to you the question. The question will be something which is routine, simple, often we encounter, or, in the social circles, or probably in our professional spaces. Okay. So it's common conversational question. I'll give you the format of response both ways, both the positive response and the negative response to the question. Also, I'll try to keep it simple yet elegant so that it doesn't complicate it for you. So, initially, try to, or rather to sound natural, it has to be a simple response, yet elegant, quick, and natural. So, let's explore the first question to understand better. So, if the question is, are you a morning person? Essentially, the question is asking you that, do you prefer getting up early in the morning? And we also ended up asking that, do you, would you rather work at night or morning? So, do you prefer working early in the morning, or, you like getting up early, or would you rather sit back late? Okay. So, that's the essential question when we ask, are you a morning person? Now, the response could be twofold. If it's a positive response, yes, indeed, I think I work best in the morning hours, and definitely I'm a morning person because the mornings are the time my energy is at its peak, and so I can give the best output. However, the same question, if your response is negative, you would rather say, no, in fact, I'm not a morning person. I'd rather be a night owl. And, I sit through the night and complete my tasks because mornings are sluggish, keeps me lethargic, and I'm not really alert at that hour. So I prefer to sit back late and finish my commitments. One of the most common questions that you end up asking someone once the week is over, and you meet someone on a Monday, the first day of the week, or someone else will end up asking you is, either they will ask you, how was your weekend? Or the typical question could be, how do you spend your weekends? So let's take the first question first. How was your weekend? Be very honest and natural. If it was all about some things you were taking care on the personal front and it was hectic, okay, so you will obviously be in a little bit of a, ranting or complaining zone, you will say, "Oh, I didn't catch a break at all. Okay, it was a hectic weekend, and I wish I could have rested a bit, but unfortunately, there was so much to take care, I couldn't really enjoy my weekend." So, this is a response when you have done too much of activity, too much work. Likewise, if at the other end of the spectrum, you had the opportunity to rest and recover and, come back energized for Monday, you could say, "Oh, it was a great weekend. The best, in fact, because I managed to rest, recover, and come back with renewed energy today." So, yes, definitely, this Sunday or this weekend was amazing. Well, we all have routines. Even on weekends, we tend to have routines. It's not, widely different how we spend our weekends. Okay. So, when someone asks you the typical question, "How do you spend your weekends?" Okay. Then be honest again. So, if it's like, you are into movies, you watch that, or reading books, or listening to music, or probably prepping for the week, so cooking and all of that, then that should be a part of your response. Imagine you are into movies and TV shows or OTT platforms, you like to binge watch things, then let's see how your response can be. "Oh, my typical weekends are all about catching up on the latest shows. Even this weekend, in fact, I binge watched on, a particular show." So this could be your response about how was your typical weekend. If you're someone who tends to socialize a lot on weekends, you could possibly use this phrase. "Oh, weekends are all about catching up with relatives and friends, and this weekend was no different. I ended up spending my time with my loved ones." Sometimes to strike a conversation, we try to understand what people are interested in. How do they spend their spare time? So, movies is a typical question people end up asking each other. So, if you want to ask someone, whether they watch films, you could frame the sentence in this format: "Are you into movies?" So, when you're asking someone, "Are you into movies?" you're essentially trying to check if they enjoy watching films. Okay. Now, obviously, the positive response to this could be, "I am a movie buff, in fact. I love watching movies and always make it a point to watch one at least per week." Okay. So this could be one of the responses. Okay. Or you could say, "I try to catch up on as many movies as I can, you know, as often as I can." So, are you into movies? And in response, if you're a movie buff, this could be the response. Or for that matter, if you don't watch films, you could say the response in this format: "Oh, I'm not really that much into movies. I'd rather spend my weekend with family, friends, catching up with them, or in fact, more explore more options of entertainment like reading or listening to music. So movies is not really my zone." When you're trying to see if someone has the element of going out there and exploring things, your question could be, "Do you enjoy traveling?" Okay. And if indeed you enjoy that, your response could be, "I love traveling, in fact." Okay. But yes, while work and the routine doesn't permit us to take big breaks, getting away for the weekend is something I truly look forward to. So, this could be a response to your, habit or your routine of breaking free from the grind and going for a getaway, a quick getaway. Okay. Or at the other end of the spectrum, if you are someone who doesn't really, like to go out much, you could say that, "No, in fact, I'm not into traveling that much. There are so many commitments back at home that weekends get consumed in that, and weekdays is all about work. So, no, I'm not that much into traveling." I remember one of my friends had asked me that, "You work from home so often. I rarely, whenever I interact with you, I rarely see you going out and, you know, working from your office or for that matter, stepping out much." So, such a person could be defined as a homebody. And truth be told, I am a homebody, someone who likes to stay indoors, okay? And be it work, be it, catching up with people, I prefer doing it very much stationed at my place, okay? So, you could also probably ask someone, are you a homebody or do you like to step out and party? So, homebody is a word which is about someone who loves being indoors at their place and someone who doesn't have a very active social life. When we are talking about food or beverage choices, tea or coffee, a standard, choice which we ask people about. So instead of asking, do you prefer tea or coffee? You could instead ask, are you a tea person or a coffee person? Okay. So the response could be either. So whichever is your response, you try to justify it typically. So for example, I prefer tea over coffee. So the Indian spices which go into tea actually add that much needed kick to it. So I prefer or in fact love elaichi tea. So I would quickly respond to a question like this. I'm a tea person. I love my masala chai and it is an absolute must to start my day. At English Excellence with Chhaya, we have something for everyone, be it daily conversational lessons, business English phrases, something that you enjoy reading, possibly looking at curated reading material, you love building your vocabulary. Watch out for the videos on this channel. The lessons are exciting, the lessons are great, the lessons are practical, so you will be able to apply it in your daily life. I look forward to bringing more exciting content for my viewers. And till then, keep learning or happy learning at English Excellence with Chaya.